was not necessarily bad. It's the way it's the way it's been implemented.
I totally agree.
Okay. Oh, of course. Who doesn't want the children to be able to read and be proficient in reading and writing? There's only that. But the question I ask myself, what resources have you provided in school? Okay, you want the teacher to teach the kids how to read and write, but where are they going to find resources to do so? They need to have resources. And why is it only public schools that are required to take their class? Why not public schools? Why not private schools? So it's only, they always targeted the poor, the masses. Who goes to public school in this country? For the most part. It's poor. People, and there are some middle class who might even take the risk to send the children to public school if those public schools are located in, safe, neighborhood, so privileged towns such as Everest. They will not send their children to Holyoke, because the public school there, it's not good. So it's always, at the end of the day, who gets to be victimized by those school policies? The masses, the poor. Yes.
You mentioned that as a student, that you weren't allowed to, they didn't encourage you to question the educational system. How were you stifled? Can you give me a specific example of how they stifled you and how they said, no, you can't do this?
For example, in Haiti, I can only speak for myself. I'm in the classroom. I'm not trying. I'm generalizing here. I'm not saying that that's how it was for all education students. That's been my experience, and that's been also the experience of many people that I have classmates were going to other schools. Some teachers, they don't want to be questioned. They don't want to be challenged, and they won't set up. You go to school, you sit down. It's very rigid, very rigid. You sit down, you write down whatever the teacher, write on the board. You don't question what the teacher says. And I always resisted whatever was done in French. I always tried to speak Creole. And for some teachers, when you speak Creole, they tend to look down on you. Or you are in college, you should be able to speak French. Their teacher will tell you that, you should be able to speak French. It's not that I'm not able to speak. I speak French fluent. I chose not to speak it. I made a conscious political choice not to speak it. But I know how to speak it. So I did that because I wanted the teacher to use Creole also as the language of instruction. So in a way, I was request. Not only me, but there were others who were request. They wanted to be able to use their own language, but that was not. There wasn't any space in the classroom for that. But that's for public school. In private school, on the other hand, students, everything was in French, so there was no resistance from the students, because who goes to private school in Haiti are those who have money. And they take pride in speaking French. Because speaking French in Haiti equates to creating a path to power. Okay? In other words, if you are able to speak fluently, you go to good school, and you have connections, you get a job. That's almost guaranteed.
I just want to ask you a question about IRC. What is his position today? I'm not really current on his.
Well, he's not in the country. He's in South Africa.
Okay, because I once read that when he was in power, that it was the CIA who had circulated information that he had mental problems.
Yeah, well, that's what is propaganda. They would say that just to.
But what I wanted to add to that was when IRC was in power, I also read that at least 50% of the population of Haiti was literate.
Was what?
Was literate.
Literate, yeah, of course. Yeah, that's one of the greatest things that IRC did. He promoted Creole. Farmers there thought they would be able to read and write. IRC created a program that allowed for farmers to learn how to read and write. And the best gift you can ever give to someone is to teach him or her how to read and write. And IRC did some of that. Unfortunately, IRC had its own problems. He became a bit corrupt. That's another issue.
I was just on that wondering if Preval is keeping the Creole more and more in his talk and trying to promote the literacy.
first term, this is his second term. He was president. He was elected before I was overthrown, right?
But now in the
Now,
squad.
he's been silent. Nobody knows what Cleveland is doing now because I think his fear might be doesn't want the same thing happen to him. The same thing happened to us. Maybe he doesn't want it to happen.
So
So he's very silent. Very silent. We don't really know what he's doing.
So it effectively worked, and the occupation is back, like with the UN now.
Yep.
It's very visible.
Yes.
Right? So in a way, like it's more than ever, like what you're talking about, education under occupation, is very, very true right now.
Of course, it's happening. The UN was made out more power than we have. Because they're the one who control the street, not really what in the street, they're killing people. What the atrocity that we committed against the people who stood up against it. There were soldiers from resident soldiers, killed Haitians, they raped a lot of Haitians, female Haitians. There's a lot of atrocity committed against Haitians after ICU left. Well, not ICU, did not leave, after they forced ICU out of Haiti. So again, this is a new form of occupation. They don't call it, but that's what it is. Why would I need to have foreign forces in my territory? Why are they bringing it? They are doing abuse life, they are whipping people, they are killing people.
They're not helping build schools.
Exactly. So it's a new form of occupation. So Cueva is very excited about that. Because he doesn't want the same thing happen to him.
I just would like to come back to your question about education and jobs, because I think that it's very important, and I would say that it's a traditional question too, and I think that it's very important that we understand that one thing is education and other thing is economy around jobs, because usually nobody will pay you to be intelligent and to be a thinker, and it is what education gives us, to think, to enjoy art, to enjoy poetry, to be educated. But usually you will not have a job to do that. And so I think that it's very important because this becomes a traditional perspective, a way of analyzing something, and it's not the point. Because in poor countries we have rich education, in fact. And in each country and in each place we can high education in terms of getting acknowledged and learning how to appreciate history, science, etc. But that doesn't mean that we're creating some kind of job for people. So maybe I'm expert in art, but what the economy wants is that I produce this, and it's what they will pay me. And so it's very different and requires another discussion and deep discussion how economics work and what is education. But
I think it's a different philosophy about
yes, but it is important in terms of economy, because for example about again colonized culture, Mexico is like, and so if the education is so good, why they are so poor? And I just want to remark that, because we need to review that, and also in the historical perspective, even that globalization has changed it so much, the way how the planet creates economies and marketing. But honestly, I invite each student here to ask your history teachers really to engage in the discussions. What was the role of Haiti, Puerto Rico, and Cuba in the crossing of the ocean? Because maybe that was the reason, because economies at that time didn't want that these islands were different, as Pierre explained. And I'm not expert in Haiti, but of course that I know very well that they will not allow it that these countries were independent, because these countries were so incredible powerful. And maybe that was the real reason, because centuries ago somebody didn't want that Cuba was a different country. Maybe the problem it never was Fidel or the revolution. It was to kill that way of thinking, and that because that will be created another connection with this continent and Europe. And so how the big colonizers in Spain, British and French, what they did with this is sometimes a gap that I don't see here in the discussion. And of course globalization is another story right now. But I don't think that it's important to understand it.
Yeah. I totally agree with you, but like what Pierre mentioned about the IMF holding Haiti to reasons for bringing people down.
Those help.
Yeah. Is that-
Where you? Somebody was yeah.
Yeah, I'm enjoying the presentation,
Oh, thank you.
and it just reminds me that I was a Latin American studies major, getting a PhD at the University of Texas at Austin in 1974, and I realized then that I couldn't make a difference in Central and South America. It wasn't going to happen. That the seat of power was in the United States, and my advisor was Walt Rostow,
Wow.
LBJ's national security advisor. And I was hanging out with him, McGeorge Bundy, and some other people, and I realized, oh, these are the bad guys. And so my life took a different turn, and I ended up back teaching at a little blue-collar college called Keene State.
Wow.
Of New Hampshire. But what you're talking about is a class war between the super haves and the have-nots. And everyone in this room is part of that complicit majority in the imperial state.
Yeah, I got to get you on that. You're saying great things.
No, but it's interesting that, we're talking about Haiti, we can talk about any developing country,
Yeah.
but we all consume 40 to 80 times as much as anyone in Haiti. That's the bottom
Oh,
line.
that's the bottom line.
And it's an old lesson about the sandbox. Everything I learned in kindergarten, that's all I need to know. It's about sharing. And this empire, the American empire, does not share very well. And so I just want to share with you the fact you said, a lot of us are occupied. And I live in Vermont, thank goodness. And there's a strong group of people in Vermont who would like Vermont to peacefully secede from the United States. And I think that would be the wake-up call for the empire. When parts of the empire say, listen, what you're doing is immoral, we don't want to play that way anymore, and we'd simply like to go back. In Vermont's case, we were a republic, the state was a republic for 14 years. It was the 14th so-called state to join. So we'd like to just, untie that relationship. And for me, it's nice to hear you speak about your experience in Haiti, because in some ways I really relate to it, because living in Vermont with Vermonters, it's a third world country, but the natives don't know it. And
How do you explain that? How is it a third world country?
because for years, Vermont was a backwater. It wasn't until they built an interstate up the river, the Connecticut River, into Vermont. Vermont, there were farms that did not have electricity in the 1950s.
Wow.
So the money went, of course, gravitated to the Boston, Hartford, Springfield, New York City, and this was a backwater. And so Vermonters have always had if you look at the income stream for Vermonters, it's been very depressed for a long, long time.
Right.
And even in this, the fabulous days of this new wealth in the last 30 years, the average income for Vermonters is the same. The high end's gone up dramatically. And we have a lot of people who vacation in Vermont. A lot of outside money comes in.
Wow.
But the regular Vermonters are living very, very close to the bone, and basically they're nickeled and dimed to death.
Wow.
And Vermonters are beginning to realize we cannot have a sustainable economic future if we remain part of the empire. Because the empire is immoral and it's unsustainable, and it's just a big vacuum pump. And the cost of maintaining that vacuum pump is our military budget, which is more than all the other countries in the world combined.
Invest more money in military than education.
So I'm sorry about the little rap, but it's
No,
really,
thank you.
it's an
That's
affirmation of all the things that you're doing in Haiti and waking people up. The educational piece to me is it's a small and important piece. But how do you play? That's the question. How do you play when you know that you don't have any control? That you're really oppressed? And on this campus, for instance, I talk about 9/11 in class. And it's just, on this campus, you're not allowed to talk about 9/11. And my administrators come to me and say, Rick, please don't mention 9/11 in class. And they're doing me a favor because they like me. Don't talk about it in class. We don't want to go there. And see, that's the teeth of the tiger.
Can you explain? I don't think people understand what you just said. What are you saying about 9/11?
Well, I just would say that all the evidence points to the fact that the 3 buildings were controlled, and the demolition was controlled demolition. The buildings didn't come down because of a plane or fires. I mean, that's so blatantly obvious. And we're now into it for 5 years. And then it goes on and on. So if you study 9/11, and I studied the CIA for 25 years,
Wow.
because my piece of action was national energy policy. So all the stuff you're talking about, the CIA in Haiti, I mean, that's just been ongoing for 50 years, ever since World War II. They've been mucking around in Central and South America. But if you look at 9/11, that's so obviously something other than what's been advertised. But you're not allowed to talk about it on this campus. And citizenship symposium, I brought up 9/11 to the core group that's going to, produce that event. And it's like, oh God, let's not screw up the citizenship symposium. That's too, don't do that. So here, we're allowed to take 40 to 80 times as much as anybody in Haiti. Thank you very much, we'll take it. But even here, the empire will show its teeth. You've got to play by the rules. If you don't play by the rules, it's like slap. And it's quite, even a little college like this, the slap shows up.
Wow.
So I think it takes a lot of courage. I'm beginning to realize a lot of courage for you to be teaching in Haiti and to speaking out, but for you to go back, or for you to send people that you've touched to have them go back to Haiti, that's hard work. I think that, I don't know what the reaction of the group here will be, is that this will be perhaps a piece of information, but how do you act on it? It's very difficult to act on it because there's that weight of this is our culture. We take in this information, we process it intellectually, but how are we going to do something directly with our own personal response? It's really a tough one.
It's hard.
Very, very hard. So thank you. I'm sorry.
Sure, no problem.
Too long.
Because we are dealing with the system, not with a group of people. To fight the system requires hard work. So.
We can talk for hours.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. So, but I know that we are supposed to end at 1:30 and we've run a bit over. So maybe if you can stick around for a few minutes and we can formally. It was wonderful, but we now have a follow-up on now that we have the information, what do we do about it? So that's next time.
That's
So we'll have you back to follow up that conversation. Anyway, thank you all for coming and participating. It was great. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
People automatically
Because Keene State is in the top 10 schools to go to.
I would like to teach here like that.
That's what I like that a lot.
Patricia, please.
Well, so nice to meet you. Have a great day.
Thank you so much for
Thank you so much for coming out. Appreciate it.
I'm so where are you? Because I haven't seen
Yeah,
you
I
in weeks, but
know. Well,
where
we had
are
such
you?
a nice time last week together.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
But what is your
I'm-
major minor here?
I'm in the grad program to be a school
Patricia
counselor.
Pedrosa.
C.
With Z, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but I'd love to have coffee
Yes,
sometime or
please.
something. Yeah, so it's great. 'Cause, where's your office?
Parker? I'm in Parker 002. It's the basement.
Oh,
There are
wow.
several offices there.
Oh, lovely. So you have no windows?
Well, I have a little one, but in Parker.
Okay. What Pedrosa? Yeah. Oh, you're still taping?
Yeah.
Oh my
Appreciate
goodness.
your conversation.
No, it's really, no.
Thank you, Patricia. $32.
Women power.
Yes, well, look, I'm so where are you presenting?
32, sorry.
I'm sorry, but I don't have, I need cash. I need to go for cash.
I might have
Are
$2.
you sure?
That's fine.
No, because I can run for the machine.
I might have
It's in the
$2.
first. No, it's 32. Oh, so I need 10.
If you have it.
If you wait for me, I can go to the
It's
machine.
actually not, so it's not for me, I'm doing it for
I know, but that's okay. It is what it is.
So, what are you doing here?
So I'm in school now to be a school counselor, but I've been going to Haiti to just stay with my friends there in Port-au-Prince, and I love Haiti, and I eventually would love to bring, you know, like you're saying, like teaching teachers down there more of a, you know, just a more revolutionary approach, like something like that, because I'm going to be working in schools here, so I'll be working with hopefully really cool teachers, so it could be a teacher exchange or something. I know it's in the future, but I want to continue learning my Creole and continue. Moi pas capable en plus, mais
So you speak Spanish?
No, I speak Spanish.
We speak Spanish.
I speak Spanish and I speak Tika Creole. But yeah, just barely. Yeah.
Tika Creole. Piti.
Yeah.
That's good Creole. That's good.
Yeah.
You're good.
So when I go there, every time,
Please.
Tika, please.
Yeah. So where in Haiti have you been?
Mostly just all in Port-au-Prince. I stay in Bon Repos.
Bon Repos,
Yeah, so.
When
And
was the last time you were there?
this summer.
Oh yeah, you were
Yeah,
there.
and this past summer, I was just telling someone, I brought one of my good friends down who works with the Institute for Justice and Democracy in Haiti, with Brian Concanon's organization. So we went down there and we bought a bunch of art
Wow.
and just went around to the marché, like downtown, all the cool paintings, and we went to Quadabuque.
That's where my dad is from.
Really?
Quadabuque.
I love the metal art of those. Love it. So we brought back as much art as we could. And my friend who is Haitian, who lives down in Brockton. Yeah. So we went
And
down.
they're not expensive.
No, not
You know what some people
expensive.
do? They
And
go
look
to
at
Haiti,
this.
they buy them.
This stuff we brought. This is from Haiti. This is made out of cow's horn.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Isn't that so beautiful? I wore it today because I knew I was coming here.
It's beautiful.
I know.
And these you can sell
Cheap.
it for like fortune.
But I sold it just enough to give some extra money to. They have a great cooperative called CH.
CH?
Yeah, no CH, Comité Artisanat Haïtien.
Yeah.
And they have a big store in Port-au-Prince, and we went and we got a bunch of stuff there. We came back and we had a big silent art auction, and we sold everything, and we showed the movie like Aristide and the Endless Revolution, and this other little movie just talking about the eradication of the Creole pig, because people don't know about that situation.
Right, you don't know.
They don't
Let's
know.
not talk about that.
I know, because that's a perfect example.
For example, of,
And it destroyed so much of the economy, right?
Yes.
Just this one thing that the United States. They don't really know. My friends who are Haitian, when I lived with them in Dominican, they would tell me, because I speak more Spanish, they're telling me about the black pigs, and then the U.S. comes and kills all the black pigs. And I thought it sounded like a fairy tale. It sounded like a story out of a book, like not real. And then I come and find out the history, yes, early 1980s.
Oh, yes. I talk
Killed
about that in
every
the book.
pig.
I talk about that in the book, yeah.
That's such a huge story, but it's such a little story nobody even knows about it.
Yeah. It was horrible. Like my mom, some of my neighbors, they were really victimized by that. Because, pigs in Haiti were like
Money in the bank,
exactly
right?
for the farmers,
Yeah.
and the imported pigs, they couldn't afford them. They could not feed them. It was too expensive. Now
They said
things
that,
have changed.
well, aren't they bringing, like there are some Creole pigs back now.
Now, but they aren't feeding. And who gets to buy these Creole pigs? People with money. It was horrible. It was all lies.
That really.
Oh yeah, all lies.
And then everybody goes cuts more trees down. Like everyone talks about the deforestation, but they don't know about the pigs.
The pigs. Horrible. All the pigs. And it is good too, honestly. You, eh? you try some quinoa?
I'm vegetarian.
Oh, you are
I am
vegetarian.
vegetarian.
All right. You are-
So, because the last time when I was there this summer, it was during the time of the big celebration for Mont Carmel and all this. I went to Sodom.
You went to Southern?
I went to Sodom.